around. It's the first few waypoints. It's just fly around the crater, and then on to some more tricky airfields and over the lakes. In Google Maps, the lakes look stunning, but not so much in the sim, it seems, because it fills them with standard water. I don't know if anybody's got the map enhancement that might make it better, but anyway, some of the ground, if you look at the textures on the ground, there's some stunning red ground textures in places. Usual rules apply. No talk of sports or religion or racism or anything that might offend. Dad jokes are welcomed or encouraged even. Enjoy the flight. I think that covers most of it.
Yeah, thanks for hosting today, Cliff. Appreciate it.
Okay. Engine inlet BP. What does that mean? Bypass. It should be, shouldn't it?
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Oh, I've just had a message pop up as I came out of the flight saying issue with traffic resolved. That's interesting.
Yeah, the inlet on the Kodiak, it's a notification really of the position of the inertial separator.
Yeah, it makes it look like it's an error, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not. It's just telling you where the door is.
Good evening. Can anybody hear or see me?
Audio coming through loud and clear.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, so for some reason it had turned off the all players in the conditions, so it's good job I went out.
Yeah, I can see Moldy RF now down on the apron. So for those watching on YouTube, yeah, this is a bit of a departure for me. I'm using push to talk, so the guys in the flight won't hear when I'm not pushing. But you will on the channel.
Yep, so it's 7:08. If you want, if you're not in the air already, if you can start taking off or make your way to take off, we'll get underway.
So this is Virtual Flight Online. It's a group that meets up every week.
And Frank.
Hello.
Hi Joe. I'm trying out the Blackbird C-130 today.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's beats Captain Sim.
It's very good.
Yes, really. And thank you, Jonathan, for helping me start it.
I've got nameplates. I've got a nameplate anyway.
Somebody told me the other day that those documents I make, I should put like a Haynes manual type cover on the front of them.
There we go.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, yeah, I've got nameplates but no names, no planes, but never mind.
Yeah, I can see you now, Cliff.
Yeah, see, it turned off all players for some reason. There you go. I should have, when I turned the multiplayer off and on, I should have gone around and checked all the settings, not just the one I changed.
So I have a question in the live stream. Does the 208 handle good on the ground, unlike the default Caravan? Yes. The black square Caravan is very, very good.
So it's mostly dusty brown airfields today, on the end of dusty brown roads and dusty brown fields. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled.
So we're having to find the airstrips.
Yes, they don't always stand out from a distance.
I see a Hercules in the air. Well done.
Yes, that's me tooling around up here.
That's a Herculean task.
Might be a heavy lift.
So, I think we're all in the air, aren't we? We can make tracks whenever you're ready. First heading, I can't see. Oh, it's 75 degrees. Yeah, the first few waypoints just take us sort of around the left-hand edge of this crater, which is partially covered with a lake. You can have a look. It might. I don't know if it's better to see it from low down or high up.
Oh, I
What
see.
I found with this one and the last crater is because there tend to be quite flat areas and they don't always stand out from low altitude. You need to go high to see the actual circle. But well, I guess if the meteor had hit in a mountainous region, you wouldn't see the crater because they'd be all jagged anyway. It looks a very inhospitable area, but there are a few roads dotted around as you fly the course. Some dusty trails in various places. The odd house and village.
Voice check, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear us? Did I hear right that 2024 they've turned off the moving animals, the fauna, because it was too intensive? Is that still the case? It'd be nice to have seen some kangaroos or something around
No,
here.
I think I've seen stuff running around.
Oh, okay.
I think the truth of it is if you have a VR headset, a lot of it automatically switches itself off.
Oh, that's probably it then. Animals don't want to be seen in 3D.
Let's have a look at the map, see how we're doing.
Yeah, there's some dusty trails just below me now. You must need a good car to drive around this place.
Quite a good supply of water as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So this patch of water we're just coming up to is actually a crater.
It is, yeah. Yeah. It's huge. I'd say it's about, it says its widest point's about 56 miles across. And 590 million years old. It's one of the little blue pond of water down there. That's what that is. Kind of wonder who uses these trails and where they go, because you can't see many houses, can you? Also, if you're going across a flattish piece of desert, why do you go in a windy line, not a straight line?
Maybe they're old stream beds or something.
Yeah, probably. It must be, wouldn't it? Because they're not, none of them are at all straight, are they?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, but can you hear us yet? Must be a bit like this if you're flying across Mars, apart from the lake, of course.
Who knows? Maybe there are lakes on Mars.
Well, this ground's fairly red here, but some of the areas further on over the main lake are the deep, deep, vivid red. You'll see it when you come up to it later. Oh, I'm aiming, I think I said about 120 knots tonight, I forgot to mention that. 110, 120
Oh, I should
should be
slow down a
fine.
little bit.
It's not a huge length, I don't think. I wonder if LittleNavMap, if you look on LittleNavMap and perhaps change the theme to Google Satellite and then look at this lake, you'll see it's got quite vivid colours in it and swirling, big sweeping areas in the lake, but I think the standard water in the sim is hiding that, possibly.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing.
Which is partly why I chose to fly over some of these lakes, but then when it came to it in the sim, it didn't look the same at all.
I'm wondering if it's me, but the coastline of this lake is just really rough polygon.
Yes,
Yeah,
same for
some of it,
everybody.
yeah, it's quite angular, isn't it?
Oh, okay, so it's not.
Not a very, in places, not a featured area, is it? So I don't think I'll do any more of these craters because they're quite flat. Like the polar opposite of the Peru trips I did. They were all mountainous and high.
Yeah, I think the scenery team needs to give this area a little bit of love.
You'd think they might have done where there were features like a crater or, you know, a particular mountain range. I suppose that big Ayers Rock, that's been worked on, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I have seen features like this sharp in quite some time.
You wonder how the AI decides where to put the lines in some ways, unless they just reduce the number of polygons, so that's why it becomes angular. They just level the terrain at a low resolution.
Yeah, there'll just be a form-fitting algorithm against the satellite features there, I would imagine.
Be nice to see some crocodiles in here, wouldn't it? So as you look around, I guess the mountains are the border of the crater, so it's again, it's quite vast.
Must have been quite an explosion when it happened.
Yes, you wonder, don't you?
$500.
I wonder what it is that makes the Australian soil so red and orange, or at most places, so many places rather.
Heavy iron content, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be iron oxide, isn't it?
Same colour as Georgia in the States.
So presumably it's too expensive to mine it to bother trying to extract it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's perhaps not dense enough or something. Yeah.
Well, of course, Australia, they do have the most enormous mines, don't they? That mine all manner of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess the place is full of it. In fact, I think I'm right in saying that Australia is the world's leading exporter of iron ore, isn't it?
I know what. Oh, is it? I didn't realise that. Well, it makes sense if that's what we're saying.
Yeah, they have enormous, great big iron ore mines, absolutely vast things.
So we're leaving this top edge of the lake 90 degrees.
Yeah, from waypoint 3 it's roughly 90 degrees. I can't see the heading now. 1 second.
092.
Thank you.
Off towards Munary.
Yes. Yep.
I'll attempt to program some waypoints in while I'm flying. So we started YH2.
What I've done in the past where the planner doesn't allow airports, if they're in the middle, it's not too bad because you can usually find a waypoint there that's relative to the airport, or you can just plot it and it takes the coordinates. But if it's the start airfield, you can't do that so well because obviously you can't then spawn onto it as a runway. I guess it would have worked if people spawned in on the ground, but it doesn't work quite so well. I'm falling behind the pack. Speed up a bit.
Yeah, I see what you mean about there being no data for... I just went to program this into the TDS 750 and it's got no record of some of these airfields, so I'm not going to bother.
All right, even that's not got it. Okay. You think the thing like, does that not use data from the sim then? Obviously
Use
not,
it from
'cause these
Navigraph,
airport-
but I guess there's fields that are missing from Navigraph.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked on Navigraph earlier and none of these airports are there.
I suppose if they haven't got a Costa coffee, it's not worth putting them in.
Just a few rocks.
Anybody heard a date for the mosquito yet? I know it must be getting close. Keep teasing photos out.
Who is making that one?
It's
Airplane
heaven. Yeah.
Okay, that's one I'd like to get.
I think we're all desperately waiting on that one. I have a flight mapped out in my head. I was going to do the, is it Army prison run they did? Well, that'd be quite good if you could have a group of people and say 2 or 3 did the north run and 2 or 3 did the east one, because they did it in about 3 legs. One to take out the wall, one to take out one of the guard buildings, and one to take out another wall or something. It'd be quite good to sort of do those little routes and try and plan it out somehow. Might be a bit adventurous, but it'd be good fun. Low level flying into the edge of France. Apparently the first leg that went in to take out the large wall, which they thought was big and strong and thick, apparently it was only very thin, and the bombs just punched straight through the wall and blew up the buildings on the inside. It didn't quite work as they expected.
Crikey, such excitement. I'm going past a house. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you wouldn't get Amazon delivering it here, would you?
God, no.
Cliff, if you want to have a go at planning that, I'm certainly willing to help with the research and help you put it together.
Yes, I've just made a few notes so far, but now it's getting closer. I should get some work done on it.
500.
There's a few wiki pages and information pages about the raid, so yeah.
Well, it might be fun to have some flak and some searchlights, so just let me know.
Yes, John, yeah, do that.
I'm amazed that this Hercules can go this slowly.
Believe me, it's a bit tricky actually. I've got some very high alpha here.
So at Munary, my little nav,
500.
runway 01 is the best one, 6 knot headwind. So if you bear slightly, we'll do just go slightly right and do a left hand join, base join, is it? Base join for a left hand circuit. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Left base. Let's go with that. Just a touch and go here. So again, dusty runway and a dusty field. It's a shame there isn't a spring nearby, otherwise it'd be a dusty runway and a dusty spring field.
Oh. If there were a pair of reptiles in a creek that sounded like birds, it could be a cockatoo.
Well, I'm at 2,000
Doesn't like having
feet.
that on YouTube.
I've got a 15 knot crosswind, so it's naturally pushing me to the right side of the airfield anyway.
I'm being a little bit careful flying formation next to this Hercules. I don't want to get behind its propellers, given that 2024 simulates the airflow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the vortices coming off it are spectacular or annoying, depending. how you feel.
There's a part of me that wants to go and slot myself in right behind it to see what happens.
Yeah, maybe you could surf it.
Let's find
Sorry,
out.
are we landing to the south or the north?
It's runway 01, so heading on the south of the airfield. Basically turning 90 degrees left onto 01. Touch and go, and then head off heading 98.
Well, one thing's for sure, I'm being pushed backwards.
I can't remember which group flight it was. It was 5 or 6 weeks ago. Devil Dog, Brian had taxied up next to me, and I was in the MH60, and the rotor wash flipped him over.
Wow,
You're brilliant.
that's good if they've started to model that. Is the wake turbulence working now? I know people had to turn it off in group flights because it was causing stuttering.
Yeah.
So what, if you have to still turn it off, or have they fixed that? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know about stuttering. I haven't done many group flights recently, so...
I think this would be a good place for a rally stage, wouldn't it, with all these like undulations and bumps and tracks and things. The noise isn't going to bother anybody.
Right, let's have a quick look at the map.
Nigel, did you get the 130 because it was on offer?
No, I got it in the pre-release stage, but I think
Yep.
they haven't changed the price, to be honest.
Yeah, me too, but it was so unstable early on and there were so many bits unimplemented, I waited and waited for months before I showed it on the channel.
Oh, okay.
So I take it's head and shoulders above the Captain Sim offering?
Yes.
Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'll hold my sign up that says, take my money now.
500.
Did you find the runway okay, David? So
Yeah, no problem. There's quite a lot of buildings around, and
I can't remember. I've only done one sort of quick flight over this, just to check it was all there.
in fact, it's the first collection of buildings I've seen for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I see them coming up. Yep. Definitely an old dusty riverbed. I wonder how often they actually have water in them again, or if they haven't for a long, long time. Did they have a rainy season here?
No idea, but there's such a lot of lakes about. There must be some
True.
water.
Yeah, there must be one. Perhaps when they get a rainy bit once every year or something like some of the African places. Oh, from here that looks quite a straight piece of runway, doesn't it? If I'm looking at the right thing.
That was hard to find. I think I almost landed in somebody's backyard.
Sometimes the case, isn't it? You think they found a runway and it's just a ploughed field.
That was a small scar in the earth.
Oh, there's some traffic on the road there. So that must be an actual road.
Yeah, surprisingly large amount of traffic considering, isn't there? Yeah.
If I remember right, once you get to the main lake, I think that's where the ground goes very, very red. It's quite spectacular.
500.
I can't quite remember, but just keep your eyes on the ground for that.
Finals for my bump and run.
Well, I don't know if it's accurate, but the scrub and that on the ground looks kind of correct, doesn't it? It looks sort of realistic, or what you'd expect it to look like. The bushes and the sort of deserty type scrub, so as you call it.
I think we call it the outback, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So next heading 100 degrees.
Pretty much, yep. 98, 100 roughly. Intrigued to know, because occasionally you see these square ponds that are obviously man-made. I wonder what they're for.
Watering the dingoes.
Yeah, unless it's a piece of where they've got the water in or something, and it's just a bit of a land where they can grow something, I don't know. Oops, nothing to see here. Somebody might have forgotten to swap the fuel tanks. It's a while since I've flown a plane to do that. Oh, here's the red land, right on the edge of the lake. This vivid red. It's too red even for iron ore, you'd think. I don't know what it is, if it's vegetation or what. It can't be soil, can it? It's just too red to be soil, surely.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of an artifact. It probably isn't really that red in real life, but I'm just guessing.
Probably worth pointing out, anybody that's watching this on YouTube, we are live in Australia in the simulator. We're on the Southeast Asia server. If you want to come and join us, you absolutely can. So to give you some points of reference, we are heading east from Munary Airport, YMOE, Yankee Mike Oscar Echo.
As
So
I
if
say,
you want to
if
come
you
in and
switch
join
your
us,
Google, your LittleNavMap to Google Maps satellite, this lake looks quite strange and spectacular, but you just don't see it under the water in the sim, which is a shame.
so VirtualFlight.Online use their own Discord server. If you go and search Discord, it's a big enough group that they appear on the library. But if you go and visit VirtualFlight.Online, you'll find the link to join the Discord server there under the Discord section. So you can come in and join us. Feel free to.
So the next airfield is Mahanow, he says, vaguely, and I'm getting suggested runway 06, which is almost straight in, just bare slightly left. Once you've gone past that waypoint 4.
And this one is your full stop, Cliff, yeah?
It is, yeah. I'm going to do the coffee break here. What time is it? Oh, we've got plenty of time, so we're doing well. I've just put lift goggles up when I'm in darkness here. I'm just going to pop a light on.
Let's get the autopilot on. Get this to fly itself for a bit.
I'm doing that. I missed the turn. Never mind.
Interested if anybody uses a Stream Deck Plus.
I have a Stream Deck, but not the Plus.
Okay. I think I'm going to try to work on a profile for this Hercules.
Is the Plus the one with the knobs on it?
Yeah, it's the smaller one with 4 knobs. They just released a huge one with like 6 or 8 knobs.
Yeah,
it's
the
got
one.
4 encoders and 8 buttons and an LED touchscreen ribbon.
Yeah, I've got the 15 button version.
When it works, it's great because, of course, with the encoders, you can do all the altitude and heading and course adjustments.
Yeah, my dad bought me one ages ago. I've got the Stream Deck tucked away under the desk here. I hardly ever use it, and the reason for it, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Whenever I'm doing videos on YouTube for people to show them how airplanes work, I can't do anything you can't see. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
So I have to do everything in the cockpit by hand so you can see me do it.
Yeah, there's one streamer I think that still uses the devices but points at the knob that's turning on the camera.
Yeah, I was saying to Joe, I didn't use mine very much. I mainly have mine for startup, so when I start the sim, it starts up everything. It starts LittleNavMap, the various plugins you need, all the extra apps I need for the headset and the joystick and so on. So it starts everything in a sequence with slight delays and fires the sim off. Sim app Pro and all that business with the wind wing if you need it. So that's quite handy. You might have one set up for airlines, so it starts the sim app Pro and one without. Transmitter. It just starts everything up in sequence.
Yes, and there's quite a lot of profiles on flightsim.to.
So there's a comment on YouTube watching us fly. Someone saying, "Wish we'd go and do some airport hopping in the Bahamas across some of those small islands." We have done in the past, haven't we? A long time
we've
ago.
done it quite a few times. Peter's done a few plans. We could probably dig one out. I could dig one of Peter's old ones out where you're going to Barts and that. Yeah, because this is certainly quite features. I won't be doing one of these again. They're too flat.
I should probably say for the people that are watching on YouTube, Virtual Flight Online has been around since 2020 arrived, or even before that actually. And yeah, over that time, that's several hundred flights that have happened.
And counting.
Yeah, I've certainly saved most of the ones I've done, and that's been about 2 or 3 years. So I can definitely find some of those.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Jonathan, Peter right now is doing Saturday flights, I think at 2 o'clock UK time on Saturdays, and he is in the Caribbean.
There we go. So for all the people watching...
So they're on the calendar.
Yep, so for the people watching that are asking about that, head to Virtual Flight Online, go to the Discord server, and you'll find the flights.
Yeah, after this flight, I think my next flight's going to do somewhere very hilly.
It's funny when I started, because for the first couple of years I did most of the flights myself, planned them out, and I used to scour the map looking for airfields, so 4 or 5 airfields within 150 miles of each other, and hills.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I'll find a good valley. Oh, that's a good valley. There must be something there. So yeah. That's how I found that WX-53 airfield in Papua New Guinea. I'm just sort of looking around, and it's like a roller coaster halfway up a mountainside. It's fantastic. It's like Papua New Guinea's version of Lukla. I have to do another flight there because it's like taking off's amazing. You go over the brow off the apron, and then you drop down. And it just plummets away from you. You can't even see the runway as you go over the brow, and you just launch off the edge of the hillside. It's great.
Yeah, I got some of those deadly airfields. Are they called that? The Papua New Guinea packs from Orbex? They're very good.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got rain now.
What time have you got in the day?
A good question.
Because I had rain early.
Oh.
Yeah, where's the darn clock in Hercules?
But if you pop the weather open, it will show you what time you've got.
.30 p.m.
Let's try it then.
It was just a single cloud that was dropping rain.
Yeah, I've got the rain.
I can't stand the rain against my window.
Can't find anybody to stop it either.
Well, this next airfield is not the most obvious, not least because there's no buildings, which always help. But it's here.
Yeah, everybody got a flask.
Yeah, what they could do with is a VOR station or something, isn't it?
Well, there may be no buildings. There's an awful lot of rocks.
At least you've got somewhere to sit. Oh, no road down there. Straight road. Nice straight road. That's funny. I was saying why aren't all these roads straight, and these ones are. I've just crossed over at like an intersection of 3 roads, and they're nice straight across at exactly the same point. That's strange looking. That's odd. There's a road there that goes to a corner which has got nothing there, almost like a little crater itself, and then turns right and goes somewhere else. Why would it go there?
Well, welcome to the Australian version of Heathrow. Here we are, guys.
I'm still looking for it. I think I can see it. There's like a scratch in the dirt.
Yeah, that'd probably be it, yeah. To be fair, you could probably land anywhere, couldn't you, almost? It's quite flat. Yep, so 06 if you're heading that way. Or something resembling 06. Oh, I think I see it. Mouldy turning final.
Yeah, I'm going to stay out of the way of the Hercules and watch it come in.
Yeah, short finals.
And the parking here is anywhere you like, probably.
Yeah, you pick a nice pile of rocks.
$500.
And Speed Racer turning final.
I think you're playing last. Probably clear of the runway. So if we say 10 minutes or so, get back at 5 to, or maybe on the hour. I think we're okay for time at the speed
Yeah.
we're going. And grab a coffee.
500.
And Speed Racer is clear of the runway.
That's quite funny. The Kodiak seems to appear as if the pilot is sat on top of the wing.
All right, time for a tea.
And me, I'm going to go and grab some coffee. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. So anybody watching on YouTube, we're only halfway, so if you want to join in, feel free to spawn in. We're on the Southeast Asia server. Let me just check the volumes, make sure you can hear me. We're on the Southeast Asia server, and if you go to Virtual Flight Online, you can jump into Discord and say hello as well. So we're all in a Discord server called Virtual Flight Online. The join link for it is in the VirtualFlight.Online website. And you can see there's a whole group of us flying along together. If I turn labels on, you can see a few more of the labels. So if I go and get in the air, I can start orbiting the airfield.
Some Eddie flying in. And you can call me still.
Yeah, I saw him as well.
Are we all back? Let's set off again.
Yep, I'm just going to orbit the airfield.
Click.
Tested microphone.
Yep, we
Loud
can
and
hear
clear.
you.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry about that. It took me a while to get the settings sorted.
Discord can be quite tricky with the sound devices.
So the airfield we are at is Yankee
Or
Mike
Magnet, one or the
Whiskey
other.
Oscar.
Both.
Yankee Mike Whiskey Oscar.
Especially like it when you get the same device twice and you don't know which one is the right microphone and which one is the right speaker.
So I've got people asking on YouTube which airfield we're at and if they can come and join. I've said absolutely they can come and join in Discord as well if they want. We're at Yankee Mike Whiskey Oscar.
Yeah, certainly.
And we're on the Southeast Asia server.
The next headings are going to be 271 degrees for 29 miles.
271, 29 miles.
Don't you hate it when you just turn your cub too fast and it tips over onto its wing? Well, you can do it. Yep, so if we can all get up into the air, we'll make tracks for the next leg. like I say, these crater rooms have turned out to be a bit featureless and flat, like the Canada one. I've had the same problem. I was trying to do a flight around perhaps the temples and that in Mexico, Chichen Itza and that, which is great because Chichen Itza that's modelled quite well in the sim. But you need to be flying something quite slow, and the airports are far apart. And also, the only thing between the airports is a flat, solid forest that has no features at all. So there's not actually anything to see to try and make a flight plan out of it. So I wasn't sure what to do.
Yeah, I started doing some research about doing a flight I was going to title it Persia to avoid calling it Iran because it would cause, trouble with idiots. Because there's so many historic sites there, and I went scouting it out, and the quality just isn't there. You can see the features in the ground, but they haven't got high resolution scans, obviously, so it just ruined it. Okay, I'm setting off after the rest of the gang.
All right. Probably get overtaken anyway because I'm not going all that fast. So I might revisit Peru and Venezuela again. They've got some good regions to fly around, mountains and valleys and such like.
Around Roraima in Venezuela is amazing.
Yeah, I think in a couple of weeks, Brian's going to do a flight in Papua New Guinea.
Oh, no, that's always good, yeah. I was going to do the South New Zealand, but I see Sab's got one, hasn't he? Or he's just done one around that area. That's good. That's very mountainous, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Brian was going to do South Island.
Oh, it's Brian, I thought it was, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's Ryan and then Brian. Not confusing at all.
Heading off into the sunset.
I'll change the weather to make
the sunset looks lovely with the sun shimmering off the ocean.
Yeah, I'll move my time forward and have a look.
Just set the time in mind for about 20 past 6 in the evening, and I've got a torrential downpour one side and the lovely sunset in the distance.
Yeah. There's some little circles to the right of me. They look like small craters. I wonder if they were remnants of the big crater, bits that flew off and came back down again. They definitely got that sort of pattern to them. The sim's not even putting any boats on the lake, is it? Because I guess there aren't any. think when we get to Kakartha Airport, we'll probably do runway 34, which is kind of straight in. The other ones are completely opposite to the direction we're flying. Unless we could do a left-hand circuit, I suppose, into... let's do it properly. We'll do 07 at the airfield, so you would sort of overhead and a left-hand circuit maybe.
As long as that's the long one.
Oh well, if you want a long one, that's going to be 3-4.
That's what I was thinking, so I think I'll have to take that one in the Herc.
No, we'll do 3-4 then, that's fine. This is a longer one. But the Hercules, you can stop on a sixpence. You can do the military reverses armed and drop on the floor. Although you're touch and going, aren't we? So yeah, you're not stopping on a sixpence. Or a dime if it's American.
Right.
So if anybody's wondering how we're doing this in LittleNavMap, I wrote a program years ago called Transmitter that presents, you can see it running here, so you can give yourself a call sign, which is what you'll appear as on the map, so other people can see you, but you can see that there's my last reported position, so every 5 seconds LittleNavMap can update the data from Transmitter. So you just run this little program, it sends that to the internet, then in the options of LittleNavMap you can go into online flying and you put the URL in here for Transmitter and set it to a custom online service and the little red aeroplanes show up. So, you know, everybody that's reporting gets shown up on the map, which is really useful for group flights so you can see where the hell everybody is. So we're heading in towards this waypoint. Yeah, you can also see how many people are flying. So it's got an interesting comment on the live stream that there seems to be quite a good turnout tonight. It's worth saying that years ago, during the heady days of 2020 when it was the only simulator, so therefore it naturally had lots and lots of people, we ended up with tons of people on group flights sometimes, and it was actually detrimental. Because you never get to know anybody because everybody's chipping in, and you also get the idiot brigade turn up and ruin it for everybody else. So there is a danger about it becoming too popular in a way.
Yeah, I joined more recently, so I've not really struggled with that. But there often had flights with 30 people on sometimes.
Yep.
Quite good.
Yeah, it seems to vary widely with the subject matter.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot with people flying around in the sim. They tend to fly where they live.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not
That's
too
true.
far away from there.
Yeah, I use East Midlands a lot because that's where I grew up. I could see the planes going. I could see the takeoff from my house, so I often fly from there.
I've often been the other way around with the sim because it gives you the entire world on a stick. I'll go anywhere and everywhere.
Yes, yeah. Like one of the flights I did, I found a big wide valley that went on for like 200 miles in China. We did that as a flight once, sort of edging along this channel. It was quite interesting because you could see all the paddy fields in the scenery, especially in 24, and the different layers, and a massive road at the side that was sort of built into the hillside or on supporting bridges at other sections. It was quite interesting, really. You just stumble on these massive valleys and on, like you say, Google Maps and whatever.
I did the same trick on part of the round the world escapade I've been doing over the last few months. I was northern India somewhere in the hills and discovered this amazing valley with a city in it. It was just crazy.
those are the places we want to go do a group flight on.
Yeah, I'll have to go and dig that one back out.
Yeah, sometimes I just fly around, and then if I like it, then I'll just look at the track and quickly dot out a flight plan and save it for future reference.
So is there a significance to this waypoint 5?
Well, basically, like I say, the lake in the Google it looks amazing, and yet in the sim it doesn't. So that was I was sort of plotting around the features in the landscape.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've just
When I
switched
came to
over.
actually do it, and I only had a chance because I had to go away because of the work on the house. I only had a chance recently to check it out and see. You can't really see very much from the actual sim, so yeah. So apologies for it turning out to be a bit flat. Yeah, it just didn't quite work out as it looked in the map, which is a shame because it looks spectacular on the map.
Part of the charm of Earth is the variety. So if everything was
Definitely,
lumpy,
yeah.
then it would be
Yeah.
boring.
True. Yeah.
So I
Everything
did
with a
see
waypoint.
some. They were screenshots. I think it was one of our old members did a round the world flight in the DC-6 back in the day, and
Oh.
coming down the northwest coast of Australia, saw some incredible features in the ground that are just like these satellite images, with dried lakes, with
Yeah,
purples
yeah.
and blues and all kinds of colours.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I was hoping for, but it's just not here. I think
Yeah.
because it's plastered standard water over the top. It may be in the photogrammetry underneath.
But
But
certainly
just
back
put the water
then,
over it.
it may be if it's dried out, then you get like the salt deposits in the ground, so you can see them.
True, yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if I should have. Well, this is their summer, isn't it? So you'd think if it was going to be dry, it would be now, or maybe a few months ago.
Yeah, I'll go scouting around in the north. It was on the western coast of Australia as he came down towards Perth, I think.
Yeah.
He saw it all. Yeah, I'll have to go and ask.
So this area is apparently a national park. What normally is here. This is very dark and red again, isn't it?
Has anyone else noticed it's got the black square 208 Grand Caravan? It burns fuel on the right tank faster than the left.
Yeah, I've just had to shut the left tank off because it was not level.
Yep. I've had on a couple of the longer flights I've done in it. Yeah, I've had to do exactly the same thing, where you keep flicking the tanks to go and equal them back up.
Yeah, I first noticed it on one of your streams, Jonathan, and then since I've been flying it, yeah, it happens all the time.
I wonder if it's a feature of the real aeroplane or if it's a bug. I had an interesting one earlier. I was in the A380, the fly-by-wire one, and it lost synchronization between where I was and where it thought I was on the GPS, and it dropped out of having a solid line, so it wasn't tracking position anymore on the autopilot. And I looked it up because I thought, oh, that looks like a bug, because everything's programmed in, the flight directors are on, it should be working. And I looked it up on Google Gemini, and it was absolutely correct. It was behaving, and it can happen in the real plane, and it does. And the way out of it is to do a direct to your next waypoint.
So is it a fault with the plane, or is that a GPS block?
It is actually an accurately simulated thing that happens to Airbus GPSs.
Oh, right.
Where it gets its knickers in a twist, and it can't track, or it can't correlate where the aeroplane is accurately against the flight plan, so it gives up tracking the route anymore.
That's very cool.
And the only way out of it, to force it to kind of reset its head, is to do a direct to the next waypoint.
Is that
That's
how you
not very, not very smart for an Airbus that's supposed to be smart.
I'm
Is that how
guessing
you end up in Austria instead of Australia?
Yeah, I wasn't checking actually. It could have been that we were out of range of any VORs or something silly like that. But it's something that can happen. Because I know that the big jets, they have three methods, don't they? They use GPS, they use the VORs, so they automatically retune and triangulate, and they also use inertial guidance.
And there's always an AA map behind the seat, isn't there? So, from 1987.
Descend to 2,000 feet and read road signs.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a really good comment on the live stream from Larry Kundle. He said the C208, there's free flowing between the tanks. I was orbiting left around one of the airfields.
Right, yeah.
So I've tipped all the fuel into one of the wings.
Yeah, the bush pilot has to be careful how he parks, doesn't he? Because if the wings are tipped over, all the fuel runs into the left-hand wing or the right-hand wing.
That's funny. So it's accurate then.
Yeah.
So I was flying around in circles and I filled up the left wing.
Reverse up your circles.
Yeah, so if I do right pattern at the next airfield, I can fill the other wing back up.
Yes, yeah. Or do side slip and get it tipped over.
That's not a bad idea.
I noticed in the Blackbird C-130 there's a failure mode you can select called fuel sloshing.
Oh, what's the is it Canadair, the firefighting plane? Have you ever looked around inside it? They've modelled the interior of it to a ridiculous level, and inside the water container canisters inside the fuselage, they've got baffles inside of them for exactly that reason.
And that makes sense because that's a lot of fluid.
Yeah. We found out when we were doing that thing where you walk around when everybody's landed in 2024. We did that thing where you accidentally walk up to somebody and end up in the back of their head. And there's a jaw in there. There's some false teeth, effectively.
Yeah.
It's like a government teeth in there. Quite scary and horrible. They've obviously modelled that to make the face shape come out right or something. But there's a set of teeth and gums in there. It's really weird.
think this Hercules is lining up for a shot at me.
There we go. I don't know what I'll have to throw at you, but that's about all I can do.
Tins of beans.
Yeah, I can open the side window here.
Unless it's Puff the Magic Dragon.
I did see a video on YouTube. They were in one of those Hercules gunships, and somebody had animated onto it a dollar counter every time they pulled the trigger on the cannons. And oh my word. It was literally the price of your house in a few seconds.
Oh, wow.
The even crazier thing was watching somebody I saw a while ago, a video of them arming or loading the plane, sorry, and it's hand cranked to pull the ammo into the chambers.
So somebody's in the back there cranking along as they're firing.
Oh, no, this is to load it, when it's on the ground. But to take the ammunition out of the boxes and load it up into the magazines on board, it's basically a hand crank, and they just stand there for hours doing it. I guess if you've got live ammunition, you don't want a robotic thing that could go wrong and squash a bullet and, yeah.
And kaboom.
Sometimes having a human do it and keep an eye on it is a really good idea.
I imagine the person has to do that, moans about it a lot, but then he just has to bite the bullet and get on with it.
That left me shell-shocked.
So we got a question on the live stream. Is the Hercules that's just flown past me, is it the Captain Sim one? No, it's the Blackbird Simulations one.
Yeah, I'm thinking that anything smaller than that C-130, pump too many rounds out of that airframe, you're going to have to be constantly minding the trim on it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
No, you don't have to roll the wheel. You have to have a trim with a hand crank.
I don't know where I read it now, but it's probably common knowledge that when the A-10 opens up with its cannon, it actually works like the best air brake ever.
Yeah.
Doesn't push it sideways. Oh, the A-10, yeah.
Yeah, the A-10, just the Newton's laws, firing those massive big bullets out of the cannon, slows the plane down enormously.
Yeah, there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, the firing chamber is aligned directly on the center line, so that's why the cannon is slightly off-center.
No one wants to be on the business end of Bert.
It is a funny noise it makes, isn't it, when you hear it?
Yeah, depleted uranium has a way of ruining your day.
Fizzes its way through armor.
Yeah, after Myrtle Beach Air Force Base cycled away from the 4 Phantoms, and I'm dating myself with this, then there was several squadrons of A-10s that were based out of Myrtle Beach.
So is the A-10 being retired now?
It's not. I don't foresee it being retired anytime soon. No.
I think they keep trying and then keep bringing it back.
It's been repurposed, so it's yeah. I'll leave that at that.
I guess it's simple enough that it's quite cheap to look after.
Well, the amount of battle damage it can take is just astounding, isn't it?
I remember reading the reason the Tomcat was retired was really to do with just cost of upkeep. The service hours versus the flight hours was ridiculous.
Yep, it was really expensive to run. Yeah, but then again with the Warthog, don't know if you read any of Peter Garrison's stuff, but he made the argument that some technology is like the fork. You can only reach the pinnacle so much. I mean, a fork is a fork, and you can't get any better.
Yep. That's like the cockroach in the animal kingdom, isn't it? They've got the design right first time, and it hasn't changed for millions of years.
I thought it was on block 14.
Well, whoever's got the fork at Microsoft and Asobo needs to take a look at that A10 because it needs some retooling.
I've never actually tried it. It's one of the few planes I've never even bothered with.
You might want to keep it that way, Jonathan. It looks fine, right? But yeah.
Trouble is, if you've been anywhere near DCS, any of the fighter jets in Flight Sim are rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, that's one of the two that I bought for DCS. I still haven't really fooled with it all that much, but I bought the F-16 and the A-10. Maybe someday.
One day when I was feeling brave, I went and bought the Phantom for DCS and then realised I need about 6 months.
Yeah.
But it looks spectacular.
I'm not a detailed enough person, I don't think, to fly DCS.
The thing I've been looking at recently, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it, I mentioned it on my live stream the other day, is a space simulator called Re-Entry.
Ooh.
It's on Steam. It simulates in extreme detail Mercury, Gemini and Apollo. To the point that Scott Manley said it's by far the best space simulator he's ever seen. So you can literally sit for hours in the Apollo guidance computer, pressing all the disk key buttons and getting the feedback back and programming it in properly. They've simulated the whole thing.
I have seen it, looked at it a little bit, just on Steam. It did look good.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But I haven't looked at it myself in any detail to see if there's any kind of easy way into it, or if it is just hit the books and it's going to be difficult.
That's funny, there's streetlights on that dirt track down there.
Yeah, you talk about hitting the books. In DCS, I think the manual for the A10 is like 600 pages.
Oh my word. Isn't there a story with DCS that one of the guys there got put in prison because when they were building the F-16 he got hold of one of the books that isn't supposed to be available to the public about, the system configuration?
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's an urban myth or if it's a true story.
I mean, I guess it'd be quite a good laugh to have a group flight in DCS and try and shoot each other down. I mean, that's be a bit of a hoot, I suppose.
There are various ways to get kind of a lower cost entry into DCS instead of buying the expensive packs. There's a couple of packs called Flaming Wings.
All right, I got heard of that.
That give you groups of aircraft that are slightly simplified, so they're not, the full deal. So you've got half a chance of learning them fairly quickly.
All right, might be interesting.
Watch out for the cattle on the runway.
It might have an accident.
It might be an utter disaster.
Oh, God. So there is actually a building here. Do you think that's a cafe?
No, we said runway 34 here, didn't we? In a touch and go.
Four 4,900 feet of glorious dirt.
Is it nice air dirt though?
The
500.
width of an English country lane.
Landing on someone's driveway.
Yes.
I thought you were joking about the cows on the runway. It's camels, isn't it?
Is it camels? Wrong continent, I think.
One hump or two.
Got to go plates off because I couldn't see the runway. Is that it? The brown mark in the ground?
Yeah, just a slightly lighter shade than the rest.
I've got some of these landing lights blinding me now. I can't see the runway because somebody coming the other way with the landing lights on. I can't see.
Oops, sorry. That was a bit
Oh, that's it.
Turning away.
I'm going to roll back in and do a full stop in the middle of the runway to have a look at the camels.
Oh, the lights have gone away now. That's strange. Oh, there's a few sheds at the end of the runway, so there's some of that, yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing no animals at all at the moment. So I've either got it turned down or it's a VR thing, like you say.
They're not too keen on me. They're all running away.
Well, you might try and review them.
They didn't move for me.
Maybe it was my
Wasn't it a
face.
joke? Was that a joke, Nigel? Didn't move for me.
I guess if you get out of the plane, you can get out and hoof it. Dear YouTube, the puns are free.
Is this one of those situations where I get told off for laughing because it encourages people?
We encourage people on the upfront.
No jokes were harmed in the making of this video. I did the comment about the yak suit last week, didn't I, on here? I can't remember. it must be getting dark. My head torch has just come on its own. It's bizarre. Just as well, because I don't think there's any lights in this plane. Yeah, I was saying I went to I can't remember which restaurant it was, like a Persian or some sort of Easternish restaurant where they have, natively they would have had yaks to carry stuff around because their feet are very well adapted to the terrain. And because they got the fleshy feet, when they die, they made a soup from the feet because it makes a very good soup texture. And I tried it. It was very nice, like a very rich beef soup. Only trouble is I had a terrible allergic reaction, and I realised I was lactose intolerant.
Oh! Oh!
Oh gosh.
Don't you just love those jokes where you actually get invested in the story and then, oh my word.
Yeah, I came up with that while I was making a cup of coffee the other day.
That was brilliant.
Years ago, one
Was
of
a
my
good
friends was telling me about his holiday he'd just been on and what a disaster it had been. And he got me there for a good 20 minutes telling me about the place they'd rented out. They'd discovered a body shortly before they'd arrived there, and the police had been, in and out of the building the whole time that they were staying, and it was a nightmare. And he told this big, long, convoluted story. And then right at the end, he just turns around and said, because when they identified him, it turns out it was the hide-and-seek champion 1958. And then he just looked at me. It's basically wasted 20 minutes of my life.
So LittleNavMap's telling me runway 11 out to the destination airport. So again, I guess we're drawing left base again. And that is the longer of the two runways, I think.
That is a shame that they don't let you see through the water, isn't it? It would be really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It looks so featured on the map.
In the early days of 2020, they allowed it to a great extent, and one of the places that was really good was Pearl Harbor, bizarrely.
Right, yeah.
Because you could see the battleships under the water.
Wow. I mean, there are places on this sim where the water's moderately transparent. For some reason, they've made this muddy, haven't they? It's like a muddy brown colour. So it's specifically hiding the detail. It's interesting. I don't know how they choose.
Yeah, in Pearl Harbor in the early days of 2020, you could see the Arizona just underneath the water. It actually looked amazing. And then they did a deal with Orbex, and they gave them a low quality texture of the whole of the harbour, and it ruined it. Or at least I'm guessing it was Orbex, I'm not sure. busy playing with the weather here to try and find a time that looks nice.
I mean, am I right in thinking most of the centre of Australia is like this, quite arid and barren?
Yep.
It's only sort of populated on the edges.
I think
where
so.
It's temperate.
There's outliers though, aren't there? Places like Alice Springs.
Yeah, I guess if there's actual water feature, then it can be irrigated, brought to life. Well, again, there's water here, isn't there? So you'd think it would have encouraged more life. Perhaps it's simply too hot. I suppose if you have the ocean near the coast, that moderates the temperature as well, doesn't it?
Should do, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the members of my in-laws' family were part of the Apollo program. I think my other half's uncle worked for Honeywell, and they were part of the tracking effort during Apollo, and so they lived over here or in Australia.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they were. I think they were at Caravan, and they ended up living here. You know, they stayed. So after Apollo shut down, they stayed and became Australian nationals.
I think in Alice Springs, isn't that one of the 4 deep listening stations for intelligence gathering
I
around
don't
the
know.
world?
To pass the time on the way, I'm going to go and fly formation with the Hercules.
Oh, there's a Kodiak above me. Perhaps I should try and catch up with him.
One thing I'm noticing about this C-130 is spontaneous power setting changes all the time. They're small, but it needs constant adjustment.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm like new to this. I think I'm kind of late, so yeah.
Yeah, we're in the last 10 miles.
Yeah, I thought so.
You sound like you might be relatively local to this, relative to us anyway.
Actually, I'm from Australia, so yeah, interestingly enough. I heard you talking about Australia earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We're just trespassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just been saying I picked this area because the lakes looked stunning on Google Maps, but the sim kind of hides it under the water, sadly. So it didn't really work out how I expected.
Yeah.
Although the red ground, do you know if this is realistic? How this ground looks really red around here. Do you know if that's like that in real life?
Wait, where are you flying? Because I have no clue.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we're on the. It's a Caravan crater. There's a. It's sort of the southeastish in Australia, I think. There's some
Yeah, if
large
it was above the outback, then it would be very red. It is actually really red there.
Oh, okay,
I've
yeah.
personally been there, so yeah.
You hate it when you're looking at the map and then you find yourself plummeting to the ground when you look out the window.
Are we going in on runway 11?
Yeah, yes. So that's the favourable one.
Runway 11, roger.
It's quite funny. I'm going absolutely flat out in this 208 to keep up with the Hercules, and I think he's going as slow as he can.
I am wallowing around the sky trying to go this slow.
I'm just wondering why I couldn't keep up with the Kodiak, and that's because I'm not in the Kodiak anymore. I'm in the Cub. I've forgotten I'd changed. I was thinking it would look good to fly in formation with two Kodiaks, and I'm not in the Kodiak, so that wouldn't have worked. There was a tree down there.
$500.
Not seeing this airport.
Yeah, this I seem to remember this one. This is just a bit scrubby. It's quite tricky to spot.
Surely it's where those buildings are.
Probably.
I'm going around because I don't see my runway.
These tracks are quite confusing, aren't they? You keep seeing
I found the runway.
this track.
It's just a scraped track in the dirt.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
There's two runways.
Oh, I see it, I think.
$500.
Yeah, I'm going to land on what I think is the runway. It is, yeah. Holding on the short final. Yeah, you're looking for more of a centre line scratched into the dirt with 2 lines either side.
Yeah, got it.
$500.
Man, speed racer short final.
I'll port next to these rocks which probably form the main terminal.
Round. I want to watch the Herc. Yeah, I'm going round. I'm going to watch the Hercules come in.
Right, Joe, you're dressed very formally for the outback.
Yeah, I don't remember which outfit I've got on. Is it the uniform?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, you got the stripes on your shoulder and your tie. I'll let you take your tie off if you want.
Yeah, thank you. Business casual.
Oh, landed early. That was a shame.
Yeah, I'm going to abandon the crater idea because they're just too flat. Especially the big craters. Maybe a small one might be okay. I'm going to go for some mountains next time.
I enjoyed the flight regardless, Cliff. I think it was very good.
Yeah.
Yep,
I like
it was
your
good.
Okay, that was definitely not a runway.
How dare you? Are you dissing my runway, Nigel? Had it mowed specially for you.
500.
But it ruined 3 mowers doing it, but there you go.
Hey, Jonathan, if you would, check your PM once the flight's over.
Will do.
Thank you, sir.
I think somebody just put a C-130 or maybe a Transall, was it, that went into the ground?
Long dart variant.
There's somebody stood in the air up ahead of me, to the right. It's like a pilot just stood in the middle of the air. Very strange.
It was wing walking a minute ago.
Or was that
That's so
special
funny.
distance?
Everybody's showing up in the same uniform, so it looks like Men in Black.
In VR, I'm not quite lined up with my character. I keep seeing inside my torso. I can see a belt around my waist, but no body, and pocket linings, but no pockets. Very strange. Looking down from the whole body. Oh, somebody's walking over my... Jonathan, you're walking over my head. Do you mind? You're 10 feet in the air.
Oh my
He's
word.
walking on sunshine.
Oh, Larry as well. He's 10 feet in the air. Where are they? In fact, there's a few of them high in the air. I wonder if it depends where your plane's parked. If it's high up or low down. Could be. If the train happens a bit off. Right, I shall have to that because I'm going to fetch my wife and my friends. So, yeah, I shall pick a challenging route next time. Well, rumors are quite challenging here, but I'll try and do something to make me work for money.
Oh, good, Cliff. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed the company. Y'all have a great week.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm off as well. Great flight. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you all.
Bye.
To anyone watching on YouTube, hopefully you enjoyed that one.
Great flight. Thank you very much. Mr. Mole signing off.
So I've not done a group flight for a
Good
long time,
Thank you.
and this was a really good, thank you, chance to catch up with some friends as well. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that, everybody watching on YouTube, and I'll see you all again soon. Hopefully, they do this every week, by the way, on Virtual Flight Online. So do go and have a look at their Discord server. Okay? See you soon. Take care.